Hi guys, how are you doing? My name is Karen Haynes. Today is World AIDS Day, as you are well aware. I have decided to crown a very special person, my ambassador of hope. His name is Kenlike Barbie. He goes by the online name Kenlike Barbie. In my opinion, he is a hero. In 2013, when I was still sick, I was a part of the live tweet party with Super Soul Sunday, a show that is aired on the Oprah Winfrey Network on Sundays between 11 and 12. And I've noticed that this individual retweeted one of my tweets and he commented on one of my tweets as well. I decided to find out a little more about this person because I found that his tweets were rather inspirational. They were rather intriguing, and his tweets always strike my mind and made me feel better about myself. And so I became more and more enthused by this individual. I decided to follow his trail all the way to YouTube to see if I find a channel. And lo and behold, I found this channel. And my dear friends, this individual has struck my mind, right? When I open one of the videos, here is this individual living, not ashamed of owning the fact that he is living with HIV/AIDS, okay? He's not ashamed to live his truth. Here is this individual breaking free from all chains that HIV has laid upon him. Broke the shackles of these chains and decided to break free and live his best life now. Refuse to allow HIV/AIDS to define who he is and to rob his right to his best life right now. He seemed to have a passion, a strong passion for life. He seemed very happy. And here I was on my bed of depression all this time, with my self-esteem past my waist, all the way down to my toes, trying to figure out where do I fit into this life, trying to figure out if I would ever get out of my bed of depression. But you know what? This person, after I finished listening to his story and looking at that video, chronicling his life, how he copes with the diagnosis, how he is now coping with the disease, I can tell you that he has become my ambassador for God. Has used him at that particular moment during my illness to show me that if someone who is living with HIV can be so passionate and happy and contented about his life, what about me? I can get out of my depression as well. And I can also be an inspiration to someone and give them hope by my testimonies or something that I may have to offer. And so today, World AIDS Day, I have a blog, as you know, which is called curcreations.blogspot.ca. I have written an article. I featured him on my blog 2 months ago. And I've decided to share the post that I've had on my blog for 2 months now. And I've noticed that a lot of people have been coming to my blog and looking at this, and looking at the video and reading the article on this story. In my opinion, his attitude toward living with HIV is rather heroic. I can safely say that I have featured stars. I've had Rihanna on my blog before. I have Michael Jackson on my blog before. But nobody has ever topped the number of views that Kenlike Barbie has topped. Right? And he is now trending at number 2 on my blog. I've returned to Facebook after my healing in May this year. I went searching for him. I found him, I added him, I sent him a message, and he accepted my request. I follow him, I make sure that, his thoughts are right. I will comment on his posts. I will encourage him. I will like his photos. Because there are times in life when we need to know that somebody cares. When I was down and I listened to his story, I realized that God cared enough for me to send him right in my path to be an inspiration to me. Right? And it shows that AIDS does not define a person. God defines the individual. AIDS is just a disease. All of us have to die someday. Yes, I may be fortunate not to have the disease. But should I look down on somebody who have the disease? Should I scorn the person who have the disease? I say no. Because disease is a disease. You have heart disease, you have lung disease, you have AIDS. A disease is a disease. All of the disease in our human existence would take us to our grave. So somebody who lives with AIDS is not different from somebody who's living with cancer. I could fall down, walk out of my house, fall and die. Right? A disease does not define us. God is the one who defines us. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I would like us to be forever reminded that the people who are living with HIV and AIDS are human beings just like us. And so, their value should never be reduced to the disease. They are valuable in the sight of God. It is only unfortunate that they are living with this disease. And my heart goes out to them at this time. There's so many of them who are living with the disease. And so I would just like to encourage them to be strong, to know that there are people like me and others who think about them, who pray for them, that most importantly, they give their heart to Jesus. And let God continuously redefine who they are. Okay? And so I'm going to share one of the poems I've written in my book about AIDS in 2009. I'm going to find it and read it. Just give me 1 minute, please. I've published a poem in my first book, It Strikes My Mind, in 2008, sorry. Let me get my glasses. Okay. Okay. My poem is entitled, and it's published in my first book of poems, now available for sale. You can contact me if you care to buy the book. It's on Amazon as well, but I sell autographed copies. I have brought 100 copies from my publisher in Indiana, USA, and it's available. If you want it, you can contact me here on YouTube, send me a message, or you can contact me on Facebook. All right? And my book is entitled It Strikes My Mind, and the poem is entitled The Deadly Sting, AIDS. At the dawn of the 1980s, AIDS starred on every cover. No one in Hollywood outshone him. He was the talk all over. He touched every continent, gaining popularity in Africa. He spread faster than forest fire, giving off more heat than the Sahara. World Health Organization launched a campaign, hoping to quiet this epic disaster. But he seemed too hot to handle, worse than the reddest summer. It became a struggle, trying to conquer this merciless epidemic. What went unchecked for who knows when had become a pandemic. Has he been given the sleeping pill? Then why today we seldom hear him? Don't get fooled, he's still around. In Uganda, he's known as Slim. He empties their villages, taking men, women, coward and brave. Children's tears are enough to wash away their parents' grave. With so many adults gone, orphans raise younger siblings alone. They make the best of life, empty to the bone. As you point your index finger to Africa, your thumb points back at you. He's bewitched third world countries and has plagued your backyard too. It is tabooed right across the board. Who has the guts to admit having it? Who will pass his enemy his sword? Society stands ready to alienate you, scorning your very breath. You're a prisoner, sentenced to life by death. I raise my hat to that prominent star. Letting the cat out of the bag was brave. He has the power to infect millions, but chose to go alone to his grave. He laid a foundation for all of us. His noble action is his anti-AIDS campaign. An individual effort can effect the change. Other approaches shouldn't be washed down the drain. Practice monogamous relationships. Get tested regularly at the clinic. Socks Johnny Boy in strong condoms, and you'll have no reason to panic. Though this encouragement sounds good, we have to face reality. No money for the next meal for children, leave mothers with no choice but to. I don't condone this practice due to orthodox reasons. What will impoverished countries do shortly after severe dry season? Hurrah to the stars of Hollywood. You've made the world proud. Owning AIDS foundations certainly is the way forward. Though the deadly sting would not vanish, money raised goes a long way. Poor victims can buy the drugs and see their kids for another day. Do you have faith in medicine? Do you have faith in medicine? Will a vaccine develop one day? Why do we seem effortless in chasing this pest away? Ladies and gentlemen, the deadly sting, AIDS, is still around. It's published in my book, It Strikes My Mind, 2008. And I just want to say to all of the victims who have been plagued by HIV and AIDS to remember to seek God while they are still alive and give him your hearts. And remember, AIDS does not define you. It is just a disease. What defines you is not you, not a disease, but God himself. And in the eyes of God, you're precious and you're valuable. Okay? I love you.